breaking rain. The lake's flooded. We live just off the lake. Decided to bring the paddle boards out. Residential areas, you could literally walk from anywhere and be in the water because the water level was so high. Someone sees my truck because it was all loaded up. We're paddling around, and I'm in the canal. We're paddling, and this guy comes out of his house and starts screaming at me, cursing at me. "You storm chaser!" And I was like, I'm in a freaking swimsuit, dude, on a paddle board in a river. And then I realized I saw my truck, and it said Restoration and Roofing, and our company name. And I was like, that's why it happened. And that's kind of the feeling that stuck with me, is just feeling like it was dirty. Like someone was just like, oh, you're a storm chaser. Like this is some bad thing. And I had this happen too. I'd be out knocking doors, I get rejected. And some people are just so kind that instead of just politely rejecting you at their door, they're going to make sure to insult you, right? And call you names. And they call you a storm chaser. And it's belittling and it's rude. Now, I'm going to share some tips on the difference, how to position yourself between a roofer and a storm restoration contractor, and how to actually flip this around. Because I've had people say I'm a storm chaser, and I say no, and then I correct them. I'll show you how in a second. But first, I want to talk about how when you approach this the right way, you can literally take this insult and flip it to a power move and position yourself as a leading expert. And in fact, you can use what I'm going to teach you here in a minute to actually close sales, because people that position themselves as a roofer, in my opinion, and I share this with folks that come out with me on site as well for training to train their teams, there's very few companies that position themselves as a roofer only. And by the way, and I share this with folks also, if you position yourself as a roofer and that's like your stronghold, that's okay. You can find a way to position yourself as that's being your differentiator. Personally, if you are working storm damage claims, hail claims, restoration claims, it is critical that you position yourself as a storm restoration contractor, not as a roofer. And here's why. When someone says, oh, you're a storm chaser, think of it like this. Here's a quick little analogy. I have some friends that are firefighters, and I have a friend who's a paramedic in New York, highest ranking you can get. Do you think that a paramedic or a fire department or even a police officer is excited to work in a district where they get 0 calls? The answer is no. They want to go to the actions. Does it make them evil when they pick up someone in an ambulance or put out a fire? No. Yet a firefighter thrives on the rush of saving the opportunity, saving the life. What's up, Jason? And that person isn't belittled, called a name like they're chasing crime. They're not chasing a fire. They're not chasing a rescue. But there's a part of them that wants the action. Do you see how ludicrous it is to call someone who works and specializes in storm damage restoration a storm chaser as a belittling name, when other people, they earn a living to provide a solution? We help people who have had something really not so pleasant happen to their castle, their home. Okay, so when you're called a storm chaser, here's what you can do to flip this into a power move and how you should position yourself moving forward, because ultimately there's a difference. You can flip storm chaser into storm restoration contractor, because this is a professional position. And I'm going to write resto just so I don't run out of room, versus a roofer. There are people that will disagree with me, and I'm sure there's going to be comments on this video with people who might feel differently, and that's okay. But I want to share this with you because it will give you a leg up. So what's the difference here? A roofer is someone who does what? Replaces a roof. One and done. Same project every time. A homeowner is going to call a roofer when they need what? A roof. We, as storm restoration contractors, we know who needs us and how to help. But when is someone going to call a storm restoration contractor? In a variety of issues that revolve around the complexities of their claim due to damage, and or if they don't know they have damage. So they'll call you for the inspection, right? Hey, I had a claim. Now, some homeowners call roofers, but how many times have you worked in a market? This has happened to me. If you're newer, I promise it'll happen to you, where the homeowner calls their roofer, their local roofer, who's never worked a hail claim in their life. And the first time I saw moderate hail damage, I didn't even realize that the roof would get replaced, and it was. So the roofer shows up and says, your roof's fine. You have nothing to worry about. Don't listen to all these people. I show up and knock the door, and they say, hey, I had a roofer here already. My roofer, my local roofer, they're a trusted company. They've been around for 30 years. And they said my roof is fine. I said, you know what? Tell you what, do you have any objection if I hop up there? I'm going to take some photos. Do they take any pictures? And they say, no. I said, great. Well, I'm going to take some photos for you. And I'm going to show you what hail damage looks like. We'll find if it's there. And I'll walk you through the pictures. Best case scenario, you'll know that that your roof is A-okay. You have nothing to worry about. Worst case scenario, you know there's a claim, but I can help. Sound good? Great. I hop up there, take pictures of all the soft metal, take pictures of the hail. And I'm like, unfortunately, I would disagree with the roofer. They file the claim gets approved, roof gets done, replaced in full. That's the difference between a roofer and storm restoration contractor. Now, there are some guys out there that again, position themselves in a roofer, but they get it. And there's a subtle difference of understanding this process. So a storm restoration contractor specializes in the insurance claims process from start to finish. A roofer doesn't understand what the insurance claims process is and has a limited ability to serve, okay? I'm gonna write this down. Limited ability and expertise. And how many times, and I get this all the time, especially when it comes to supplementing, okay? This is how you outsell a roofer. I should have renamed this video, how to outsell a roofer. When a roofer says, hey, just tell me when you get the roof paid, call me, I'll do it. Well, what happens when they find something that wasn't paid? What happens when they get into it and it's 2 layers and the adjuster paid for 1? The roofer doesn't know how the insurance claims process works. The homeowner gets stuck with the bill. Oh, we found an extra layer. It's only $4,000, whatever. I don't know the number. There's extra layer redact. Make it fancy. Make it a big deal. It will cost them money. When a storm restoration contractor finds those other things, they understand the insurance claims process from start to finish. Hey, not a problem. I'm going to document the process, submit it to the adjuster, who I'm going to introduce myself to. I'm familiar with working with this insurance company. We process hundreds of claims through them, and I'll make sure this process is handled for you to begin with, start to finish. So you don't have to worry about a thing, except picking colors. By the way, you've heard me say that before. I love that line with homeowners. When you work with me, the only thing you have to do is pick colors. I handle the rest. Easy, right? So big difference here on between them. The other thing that I like, and I told this story before on the working commitment. If you don't watch that video, I did it a few days ago. All these lockdown days blend together. I have a whiteboard behind me, a bunch of lights and curtains closed. I don't know what day of the week it is, but I did a video on how to handle a partial paid claim, because you can use their working commitment. So I told homeowners, listen, the difference between a roofer and a storm restoration contractor, which is a professional, is the ability to understand not only the roofing process, but the technicalities of an insurance settlement, okay? So when I was on this roof, and I'll just make this story super short, I'm on the roof, no damage. I don't even see damage, but the gutter protection tucked under the shingles was all peppered up with hell. So adjuster pays for it. Homeowner calls a reinspection. I said, please don't do that. There's no damage. Adjuster comes out. He says, you know what? We already paid for this. You cannot replace the leaf or the gutter protection, the leaf guard, without removing the shingles that it's tucked under, but shingles are not repairable. Therefore, we're replacing the entire roof. Okay. So then what happens? Whole roof gets replaced. Then, this is when I was new, by the way, I started to get creative and learn the process and understand what a working commitment is. How do I supplement appropriately? How do I negotiate with the insurance company? How do I get a claim that was partially covered, turned into a full payment, or denied, turned into covered? How do I handle something in progress? So that's the difference between the two. This, by the way, this is the actual sheet. This is in the marketing battle pack. If you need a reminder, anyone that does have, because I know a lot of you guys that are watching already have it, is a cheat sheet. And it's in the sales training folder. It's called Roofer versus Storm Restoration Contractor. There's bullet points in here on understanding the needs and desires of a homeowner and when they're going to call, when they might reach out. There's a link to that in the description, by the way, just included in the battle pack. There's a difference between these. And when you understand what's going through a homeowner's mind when they contact someone, they're looking for a roofer. So we need to reposition ourselves. Okay. You can see this would be like your general practitioner doctor, right? And this guy's like the brain surgeon. Is an example. That might be an extreme case. You can understand a specialist. All right. So, and Jason, I saw that comment. I'm going to touch on it in a second before I lose my train of thought here. So the difference here is you can spin this into, listen, we're not a storm chaser. In fact, I'm a storm restoration contractor. And the other thing you're going to get flamed on, by the way, which I'm just going to prepare you for, is they're going to say, well, why the hell are you showing up at my door? This you can overcome. And I've actually done this and turned them into jobs. And you'll hear that this is just a good thing to know when you're sitting down too at a restaurant and someone's screaming at you. For some other reason. I don't know why people hate what we do so much. Not everybody does, but some do. So what I'd like to say is, listen, as a storm restoration contractor, I specialize in bringing homes and people's lives back to normal after a catastrophe, whether it's hail, small hail, big hail, wind, tornado. That's what we do. So I understand the entire construction side and process, and I also understand the insurance process. And my job is to act as a facilitator for the homeowner to make it completely pain-free as much as possible. So all they have to do is pick colors. That's what I do. That's the difference between a contractor, because a general just roofer or a general contractor is just going to say, hey, Mr. Homeowner, you deal with the insurance company, you take care of everything, and then you call me when you're ready. And guess what? When everyone plays by the rules, the price is the same. Okay. All right. So the last thing I do is when I tell folks, hey, why do you go door to door? I say, this is the level of our service. I understand that your home's been impacted, as has your neighbors. And in fact, I'm working with Peggy about 4 doors down. And my job is to make this process as simple as possible for you. And the only way for me to serve you is to help you identify if you have damage. And that's why I'm here today. So if you can use that, that will help you overcome that objection. When someone wants to kick you off the roof, say, hey, you storm chaser, you say, no, I'm sorry, ma'am, I think you have it wrong. I'm a storm restoration contractor and I'm working with a neighbor. And if you don't have a neighbor, you can point you down there, name the next town, the street, the area, whatever, mention someone you talked with. Just say, I'm here because I understand that that your neighborhood has been damaged. I've been up on the roof. Even if you can't name drop, you've been up on a roof, you've been on roofs in the neighborhood and you've seen damage. The best way for me to serve you is to make it simple as possible. And instead of you having to call someone to come take a look, I'm here and I'm offering a photo and video inspection for you on your behalf. And I know right now we're not door knocking. Okay. So disclaimer, you're getting the messaging point of how to deal with this. All right. So Jason says, I'm going to pop into here. He says, there's nothing wrong with being a storm chaser because we're there to help. We're there to fix damage to their roofs and tarp it after the storm to prevent further damage till the roof is replaced. We help them with the whole process to make it easy and simple with the homeowner. Jason, incredibly well said. And that's also a thing that we do is tarping. Now, yeah, any roofer can tarp, but not all of them are prepared or have the team to quickly and rapidly deploy their resources to make it happen. So what I want to leave everybody with is a few tips. So again, remember, if you want, this is just one of the many things that's in my marketing battle pack. You can click a link to check it out in the video description. It's in the sales training folder. If you already have it, that's where it is. There's a lot in there, I know. So sometimes people will be like, hey, where's this stored? It's all in there in the sales training folder. All right. The other thing I want to leave you with is the power and excitement to flip the script around from when someone calls you a storm chaser to flip it and say, listen, I'm actually a storm restoration contractor. You got it wrong. Okay. So, don't let this get you down. If you got my email, which you can get on the list in the Roof Sales Insider list in a link below, you saw the emoji in the subject line because that's how it makes me feel. It's furious when someone says that. And now you've got the tools to flip it. And you have the tools to position yourself because you will have this happen. You will have it happen where a homeowner says, well, I already talked to the local roofer and they said they could do it for X, Y, and Z. This is where you differentiate your service to win the business. Okay. And this is important. I'm going to write this. Differentiate. Okay. And win. If you are competing as a roofer to another roofer, do you know what it boils down to? Price, maybe reputation. But when you differentiate as a roofer versus a storm restoration contractor, you have an entirely different and more advantageous skill set above and beyond a roofer in the world of understanding being an expert on the insurance claims process. All right. That is all I have for you today. I'm going to close with this comment from Jason. And he goes, what gives us the reputable companies a bad name is the fly-by-night companies. And those companies, Jason, are the ones that are featured in the news who come through a neighborhood. They open up a temporary office. They deploy a huge team. And this is not all of them, but many will come in here. All right. They're going to show up. They're going to sell a bunch of jobs, collect a bunch of ACVs, and then they're gone. That's a classic story. You see it every single year. Beware the roofing scam. The roofing scam, mind you, is that exact scenario. Show up, sign contingency, collect ACV, skip town. Sometimes it's evil, bad will. Other times it's a poor company who is literally just, new opportunity in a new area. I'm gone. And then they're gone. So there's a lot of things. And a lot of it for owners out there is a lack of control, not knowing what's going on in the field. All right. Ralph says, thanks again. Tristan says, beautiful information. Thank you. Hey, thank you for being here. My pleasure. So I'm going to wrap today up. I know I've been getting, I've been getting long because I'm loving the comments and the emails I'm getting. So for future videos, if there's anything specific that you're facing right now, any struggles in generating leads, any struggles in closing sales, it's what you're here for. Email me, adam@roofstrategist.com, or suggest a video in the video description. Pop in there. I'm taking a look at these, and they're inspiring how we're responding to all of what's going on, both COVID, post-COVID, and all that, because this is all relevant stuff no matter what's going on. And Jason, you're very welcome, and great to have you here again. Guys, have a good one. Have a good night. Stay safe. Stay on the gas. We will get through this. Things are going to be changing here in the next few weeks really quick. And if you didn't watch the video yet on the 3 big predictions that I have for the industry, I think that was a few days ago. Take a look. Might have been Friday. I don't even know what day it is. Might have been Monday. But fly through. I made a playlist, by the way, for the Lockdown Lives. Take a look there. You're going to see how I see this industry shifting, because we're going to have some future waves of this. Is what, by the way, I'm not a doctor. Is what the news is predicting. And I just want to be prepared and help you guys be as proactive as possible. So be well, stay safe. I will see you tomorrow. Thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Links to all my stuff in the video description, including my email list, the insiders, totally free. And an ebook will come right your way as well. So see you tomorrow. Take care, guys. If you have any questions, email me, adam@roofstrategist.com.